Oh, hell no. Who let this one in? Babe, look, we've got another charity case trying to eat with the members. What's next? Food stamps at the buffet? Yes, Brandon, that's what happens when trash doesn't know its place.
Oh, hell no. Who let this one in? Patricia Whitmore's voice sliced clean through the polished calm of the Meadowbrook Terrace, sharp enough to turn heads even over the soft hum of violins. Her manicured finger pointed openly as she stared at the black woman seated alone near the window. Dressed in jeans and a blazer, her posture quiet, her presence deliberately unremarkable. Patricia leaned toward her friends, lips curling in a smile that carried no warmth. "Babe, look," she said loudly, making sure the words traveled. "We've got another charity case trying to eat with the members." Her laugh rang out, brittle and vicious, the kind that demanded agreement. "What's next?" she continued, eyes glittering. "Food stamps at the buffet?" Before anyone could even pretend to intervene, Brandon Whitmore moved. The 12-year-old didn't hesitate or look to his parents for permission. He snatched a chocolate croissant from the silver tray beside him, cocked his arm like he was on a Little League field, and hurled it across the terrace. The pastry struck the woman's head with a wet thud, bursting on impact. Chocolate exploded through her hair, dark streaks clinging to curls and dripping down onto her collar. Patricia screamed with delight, clapping as if she'd just witnessed a clever trick. "Yes, Brandon," she cried, her approval unmistakable. "That's what happens when trash doesn't know its place." The woman didn't scream. She didn't flinch. She sat frozen, shoulders tight, as chocolate slid slowly down her neck, soaking into fabric, staining skin. She didn't turn around. She didn't look at them. David Whitmore rose from his chair, anger flashing across his face, not at his son, not at his wife, but at the disruption. He pointed toward the woman like she was a problem to be removed. "Out. Now," he barked, "before I have you arrested for trespassing." "I was invited," she whispered, her voice low, steady, almost fragile in its restraint. David scoffed. "Like hell you were. Have you ever seen entitlement destroy everything with one cruel laugh?" Meadowbrook Country Club sat on 47 acres of flawless Connecticut lawn, the kind of green that demanded 3 full-time groundskeepers and a 6-figure irrigation system just to stay alive. Old oaks framed the entrance like silent sentries, their branches arching over a valet circle packed with Bentleys and Maseratis. It was Saturday morning, 11:47 a.m., and the spring benefactors brunch was in full swing. Crystal chandeliers hung from vaulted ceilings, their light reflecting off polished silver and glass. Oil paintings lined the walls, portraits of the club's founders, every one of them white, every one long dead, watching over the room like judges. Fresh lilies perfumed the air. Violins murmured softly from the corner. Membership cost $50,000 a year, and the waiting list stretched 7 years long. Even that wasn't enough. You had to fit. The committee had rejected 19 applications in the past 2 years. 15 belonged to people of color. Servers in white gloves moved through the room like shadows. Most of them were black or Latino. They kept their eyes down. They had learned how survival worked here. This was where Connecticut's elite made deals, arranged marriages, decided which children went to the right schools, joined the right firms, married into the right families. This was where power rehearsed itself quietly. Jordan Ellis had arrived at 11:15. She was 43, with a PhD in aerospace engineering from MIT. Her company, Ellis Industries, manufactured advanced defense technology. Last quarter alone had brought in $600 million in revenue. 12,000 employees worked across 8 states. Forbes had profiled her 3 months earlier. The headline read, "From garage startup to defense giant, how Dr. Jordan Ellis built a billion-dollar empire." Today, none of that showed. She wore dark jeans and a navy blazer from Nordstrom Rack, simple gold studs in her ears, her natural hair pulled back neatly. No designer bag, no flashy jewelry, no visible markers of wealth or power. She had dressed down deliberately. Robert Henderson, the club president, had invited her personally. He wanted Ellis's Industries to sponsor a STEM program, $5 million over 3 years. The club would get publicity. The program would look good on grant applications. Jordan had agreed under one condition. She wanted to see the culture firsthand, not as a CEO, not as a donor, just as a guest nobody recognized. She wanted to watch how members treated people they believed didn't belong. So she sat alone at a corner table, head lowered, appearing like someone's assistant, someone who wandered in by mistake. Her phone rested in her pocket, recording app ready. Jordan had learned long ago to document everything, every insult, every microaggression, every moment people revealed who they truly were when they thought no one important was watching. She had been reviewing quarterly reports when the croissant hit. Now, chocolate clung to her hair. Her documents lay ruined. Water spilled across confidential pages, ink bleeding through projections and strategic plans. Patricia Whitmore was still laughing. The Whitmores sat 3 tables away, center terrace, the best view of the golf course. Patricia was 45, blonde highlights framing a face tightened by too much Botox. Her Instagram bio read, "Luxury lifestyle influencer," followed by 47,000 followers. Her feed was a parade of Range Rovers, Hermes bags, and Hamptons weekends. Every caption some variation of blessed, grateful, living my best life. She ran the Ladies' Auxiliary Committee. She controlled the social calendar. She decided who got invited and who didn't belong. 2 years earlier, she had blocked 3 families of color from membership. Hiding behind phrases like culture fit, traditional values, and preserving community character. David Whitmore was 52, third-generation wealth. His grandfather had founded Whitmore Properties in 1958. David now ran $190 million in assets, shopping centers, office parks, luxury apartments. He was excellent at inheriting and not much else. His company was bidding on the biggest deal of his career. Ellis Industries needed a headquarters campus, $1.5 billion, 15 buildings, 3,000 employees. Whitmore Properties led the bids. David had spent 6 months schmoozing, networking, calling in favors. The final decision meeting was Monday morning, less than 48 hours away. David Whitmore had no idea he had just watched his son assault Dr. Jordan Ellis. Patricia didn't know either. Nobody in that room did. Brandon Whitmore was 12, an only child expelled from 2 private schools for bullying. His third academy had accepted him only after his parents donated a new library wing. He had never heard the word no. He had never faced consequences. Problems disappeared with checks and connections, and he absorbed the lesson completely. He mirrored everything his parents taught him. The contempt, the entitlement, the belief that some people simply mattered less. Jordan remained perfectly still. Chocolate weighed down her collar. She reached for her napkin with controlled, deliberate movements. Her breathing stayed measured, but her hands trembled despite her discipline. Thomas, the club manager, stood near the kitchen doors. He was 53, black, and had worked at Meadowbrook for 30 years. He had seen everything, heard everything, and learned when silence paid the bills. He had grandchildren to help through college. He watched Jordan gently dab chocolate from her hair, his jaw clenched, fists tightening at his sides. But he stayed where he was. At table 7, an elderly woman named Margaret began to stand. She was 72. Her husband grabbed her wrist, pulling her back down, shaking his head once in warning. Margaret sat. Everyone sat. Everyone watched. Nobody helped. Jordan placed the napkin carefully on the table, the white linen now smeared brown. She took a slow breath and began gathering her papers, moving as if she were defusing a bomb. Water pooled across financial forecasts, strategic plans and confidential reports, the ink bleeding like open wounds. Patricia's voice cut through the terrace again, sharp and commanding. "Thomas," she snapped, fingers flicking toward the manager. "Thomas, get over here." The command cracked through the terrace like a whip. Thomas lifted his head and walked toward the Whitmore's table, his expression carefully neutral, his posture straight. Professionalism layered over decades of restraint. 30 years of practice had taught him how to survive rooms like this. Yes, Mrs. Whitmore, that woman. Patricia pointed without even looking at Jordan, as if eye contact would dignify her. "I don't recall seeing her on the guest list." "Did you check her invitation?" Thomas hesitated, the briefest pause, the kind most people missed, but that carried weight. "Mr. Henderson invited her personally, ma'am." Patricia's eyes narrowed. "Robert Henderson invited her?" She let out a laugh that carried disbelief wrapped in insult. "I find that very hard to believe." "He knows our standards." Jordan kept her head down. She stacked the wet papers carefully, one page and then another, aligning edges even as water dripped from the corners. Her jaw was tight, muscles locked in place, Ma'am, I assure you, Thomas began. Don't assure me of anything. Patricia shot to her feet. Her chair scraped violently across the marble, the sound echoing across the terrace like a warning bell. I'm going to handle this myself. She crossed the open space in 5 sharp clicks of Louis Vuitton heels, every step deliberate, rehearsed. David followed, phone still in his hand, irritation written across his face. Brandon trailed behind them, grinning, energized by attention. Conversations faltered. Forks paused midair. A few diners lifted their phones, pretending to check messages while angling for a clear view. In the corner, the violinist missed a note. Patricia stopped directly behind Jordan's chair, so close her perfume became overwhelming. Chanel, no. 5, applied without restraint. Excuse me, she said coldly. This is a members-only event. I'm the president of the Ladies' Auxiliary Committee and I don't recognize you. Jordan continued stacking papers. She didn't turn around. I'm talking to you, Patricia snapped, her voice rising. It's basic manners to look at someone when they're speaking. Jordan finally turned. Chocolate still streaked her hair. Her eyes were calm and unnervingly so. I was invited by Mr. Henderson, she said quietly. I've every right to be here. Patricia laughed, sharp and dismissive. Robert Henderson wouldn't invite someone dressed like that to a benefactor's event. Let's be real. She gestured at Jordan's outfit with a manicured hand. Jeans to Meadowbrook, what are you? The help! David stepped closer, his gaze slow and appraising, like he was inspecting livestock at an auction. Look, miss, nobody wants a scene. Why don't you just leave quietly? I have an invitation, Jordan repeated. From who? Patricia crossed her arms. Show me. It was verbal. Mr. Henderson called me personally. Patricia smirked. How convenient. No paper trail. She turned toward the watching crowd. Anyone can claim they were invited, right? A few people nodded. Others shifted uncomfortably but stayed silent. David pulled out his phone. I'm calling Robert right now. We'll get this cleared up. He dialed, waited. The call went to voicemail. Damn it. He's on the golf course. Of course he is, Patricia said sweetly, the smile on her face vicious. So, we have no proof you were invited. You're wearing jeans, and you're going through corporate documents that don't belong to you. She reached across the table and snatched one of Jordan's papers, holding it up to the light. Her eyes skimmed the header. Ellis Industries Q to Aerospace Projections, Patricia read aloud, dragging out each word. Oh, this is rich. Did you steal these from some office? Corporate espionage? Jordan stood slowly. She was 3 inches taller than Patricia, a difference that seemed to irritate her immediately. That's confidential property, Jordan said evenly. I need it back, or what? Patricia lifted the paper higher. You'll call your lawyer, sweetie? Lawyers cost money. She ripped the paper in half, then in half again. As the pieces fluttered to the marble floor like snow. Oops, the terrace went silent. Even the violins stopped. Jordan's hands curled into fists at her sides. Her breathing remained controlled. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Her therapist's voice echoed in her head. Don't let them see you break. You just destroyed corporate property, Jordan said calmly. David laughed. Lady, I don't know what office you clean, but those documents probably belong to your employer. It's not you. He stepped closer, close enough that she could smell bourbon on his breath. Let me guess, you're somebody's secretary, administrative assistant here to pick up your boss. Maybe she's catering staff, Patricia added, her tone playful. The uniform room is through the kitchen, honey. Laughter rippled across nearby tables. Not everyone joined in, but enough did. Jordan bent down to collect the torn pieces. Her hands shook, visibly shaking, Brandon noticed. He darted forward and kicked Jordan's briefcase hard. It toppled over. Papers exploded across the floor. Pens rolled away. A tablet clattered against the marble. Brandon, Patricia said, delighted. Stop that, she laughed. You'll get your shoes dirty. Jordan dropped to her knees. She gathered papers on her hands and knees. Chocolate dripped from her hair onto the floor, onto a red leather folder, onto a USB drive, onto contracts stamped with government seals. David watched her crawl, his expression a mix of disgust and amusement. Look, sweetheart, I don't know what diversity hire program landed you here, but Meadowbrook is a private club. We have standards. We have traditions. He said the word diversity like it tasted bad. Patricia circled Jordan slowly like a shark scenting blood. What David's trying to say politely is that you'd be more comfortable at the public facilities in town. You know, where people like you usually go? People like you? The words hung in the air, heavy and undeniable.
Ow.
Jordan stayed on her knees, gathering the last of her papers. Her face was stone, but her eyes were wet. Thomas stepped forward. "Mrs. Whitmore, perhaps we should stay out of this." "Thomas," Patricia said, without even looking at him, "unless you want to join her." Thomas stopped, his hands clenched at his sides. 30 years of swallowing words pressed down on his chest. At table 7, Margaret stood again. "Patricia, that's enough." Her husband yanked her back down. "Margaret, don't." She sat. Jordan gathered the final document and rose slowly. Briefcase in one hand, torn papers in the other. Chocolate stained her blazer. Water soaked her jeans. She looked at Patricia, at David, at Brandon. "I understand perfectly," she said quietly. "More than you know." She turned toward the terrace exit. 10 tables stood between her and the door. Every eye in the room followed her. She took 5 steps. Brandon grabbed his glass of orange juice half full, pulp floating on top. He wound his arm back. "Brandon, no," Thomas shouted. The juice hit Jordan square in the back. Cold liquid soaked through her blazer. Orange pulp slid slowly down Jordan's spine, sticky and clinging, pooling at the small of her back before dripping onto the marble floor. For a fraction of a second, the terrace existed in stunned silence. Then Patricia shrieked with laughter. The sound echoed off the vaulted ceiling, loud and unrestrained. She doubled over, clutching her stomach, tears forming at the corners of her eyes. "Oh my God, Brandon." David threw his hand up and slapped his son's palm midair. "That's my boy," he said proudly. "That's my boy." Other parents smiled. Some exchanged glances and shook their heads, but said nothing. A few looked away entirely, suddenly fascinated by their plates. No one stood. No one spoke. Jordan stopped walking. She stood perfectly still. Orange juice dripped from the hem of her blazer onto the marble, forming a small, glistening pool at her feet. She didn't turn around. She didn't say a word. Her shoulders rose and fell slowly with each controlled breath. "Hey." Then she reached into her pocket. She pulled out her phone. The screen was already lit, recording 23 minutes and counting. She tapped stop. Saved the file. Slipped the phone into her hand and turned slowly. Her face was calm, not numb-controlled. A stillness that made people uneasy. She looked at Patricia, at David, at Brandon, at every single person who had watched and stayed silent. "I'm leaving now," she said. Her voice carried across the terrace, clear and steady. No tremor, no anger. "But I'll be in touch." Patricia waved a dismissive hand, still laughing. "Oh, we're so scared." She turned sharply. "Thomas, call security. I want her escorted out properly. That won't be necessary." Jordan's eyes locked onto. "It's David's. I know the way." She turned and walked toward the exit. Chocolate and orange juice marked her path, a visible trail across polished marble. Her heels clicked with measured precision, each step deliberate, unhurried, controlled. At the door, she stopped. She turned back one last time. "See you Monday, Mr. Whitmore." David frowned. "Monday?" he scoffed. "Lady, I don't even know who you are." Jordan smiled. It was cold and thin. It didn't reach her eyes. "You will." Then she was gone. Patricia burst into fresh laughter. "Did she just threaten us?" she said loudly. "Did everyone hear that?" She pulled out her phone and began typing furiously. "This is going on Instagram." David returned to the table, dropped into his chair, and lifted his mimosa. "Crazy woman," he muttered. "Probably mentally ill." Brandon was still grinning, flushed with adrenaline and approval, soaking in the praise like sunlight. Thomas stood near the kitchen doors. His fists were white-knuckled now. His chest rose and fell heavily, his jaw tight enough to ache. At table 7, Margaret leaned toward her husband, her voice urgent. "Harold, that was wrong. We should have said something. Stay out of it," he hissed back. The violins resumed. Conversations restarted. Laughter returned in pieces. Servers slipped back into motion, plates clinked, glasses filled. The terrace returned to normal, as if nothing had happened. As if Jordan Ellis had never been there at all. Patricia posted the Instagram story before Jordan's car even left the parking lot. She uploaded a photo taken from behind Jordan's back, orange juice staining her blazer as she walked toward the exit. Patricia added text overlay. When random people try crashing our event, security handled it though. She layered on laughing emojis, a gif of someone being escorted out, hashtags. Hashtag Meadowbrook Standards, hashtag Private Club Life, hashtag Norplace. She hit share. Within 10 minutes, the story had 400 views. Within 33,000. The comments rolled in fast. Oh my God, who was that? You're so brave, Patricia. Protecting your community. But others followed. This feels racist. What if she was invited? Why are you posting this? Patricia deleted the critical ones. Blocked 2 users. Kept scrolling. One comment made her pause. Wait, is that Jordan Ellis? She spoke at my university last year? As a CEO? Patricia snorted, screenshotted it, and sent it to David with 3 laughing emojis. He didn't respond. 64 minutes after Jordan left, David's phone rang. Robert Henderson flashed across the screen. David answered cheerfully. Rob, how's the back 9? David Roberts' voice was tight. I just got 6 texts about an incident at brunch. What happened? Oh, that? David waved his free hand dismissively. Some woman tried crashing the event. Patricia handled it. No big deal. Some woman. Robert's voice sharpened. David, who was she? What did she look like? I don't know. Black woman, jeans. Didn't belong. Claimed you invited her. But, oh God. Robert's breathing was suddenly audible. God. David straightened. What? David? Robert said slowly. What did you do? There was a misunderstanding. My son Petresui didn't know. Your son. Robert's voice rose. What did Brandon do? David hesitated. David Robert pressed. What did your son do to her? He threw some food, David said quickly. It was a joke. Kids being kids. He threw food at a guest I personally invited. Robert's voice cracked. Are you insane? It was just a croissant, and what else? David's hand was slick with sweat against the phone. Orange juice, maybe. Patricia might have said some things, but we didn't know who she was. That's exactly the problem, David. Robert was breathing hard now. You didn't need to know. Should treat every guest with respect. The call ended. David stared at his phone. Then he opened his browser. Jordan Ellis, CEO. The screen flooded with results. Forbes profile. Recent interviews. Corporate headshots. A TED Talk with 2 million views. He clicked images. There she was. Professional, polished, blazer and pearls, confident smile. The same face. The same woman. His stomach dropped like an elevator with cut cables. He scrolled frantically. Found Ellis Industries' website. Clicked the headquarters project request for proposals. The procurement page loaded. Whitmore Properties Group lead bidder status. Final review, final decision meeting. Monday, 9 a.m., 29 hours away. The terrace spun, his vision blurred. He grabbed the table for support. Patricia, he croaked. His voice was strangled. Patricia, I'll get over here. Patricia was 3 tables away, holding court. Her phone tilted toward a small circle of friends as she replayed the Instagram story with theatrical flair. Laughter bubbled around her. When David's voice cut through low, strangled, she barely glanced up. Duh, what? She snapped. I'm busy now. Something in his tone made her stop. She stood, irritation flashing across her face, and walked over. What's wrong with you? That woman, David said. His voice was barely audible. The one Brandon threw food at. Patricia scoffed. What about her? It was Jordan Ellis. She blinked. Who? It's Jordan Ellis, David repeated, each word landing heavier than the last. CEO of Ellis Industries. The company I'm bidding for. His hands were shaking now. $1.5 billion. The final meeting is Monday. The color drained from Patricia's face. That's... No, she said weakly. She wasn't. I just Googled her, David said. It's her. It's the same woman. Patricia snatched his phone from his hand and stared at the screen. The photos loaded slowly, one after another. Her fingers began to tremble. Oh my God, she whispered. "Oh my God, David, that's her," he said. "That's not possible," Patricia said, panic creeping into her voice. "She was dressed like—" "I know what she was dressed like." David stood abruptly. His chair tipped backward and crashed against the marble floor, the sound sharp enough to silence nearby tables. Heads turned. "And you posted it on Instagram," he said. "I'll delete it," Patricia said quickly, already pulling out her phone. "Right now. I'll delete it." She opened Instagram. The story was still live. Views: 3,400 shares. 47. She hit delete. A message popped up. "This story has been shared. Deletion may not remove all copies." "No," she whispered. "No, no, no, no." Her finger jabbed the screen again and again. Delete, delete. It was too late. Screenshots already existed. People had saved it, sent it, uploaded it elsewhere. "What do we do?" Patricia's voice rose, shrill now. "We apologize, right? We send flowers, a donation. We explain it was a misunderstanding." David was already typing an email, his fingers fumbling over the keyboard. "Dear Ms. Ellis, there has been a terrible misunderstanding this morning. My family and I deeply regret." He stopped, read it back. It sounded hollow, desperate, insincere. He deleted it, started again. "Miss Ellis, I would like to apologize personally for any confusion at Meadowbrook today. Perhaps we could meet for dinner this week to discuss." Delete. His phone rang. Unknown number, answered. "Hello, Mr. Whitmore." A woman's voice, professional and cold. "This is Rebecca Carter from the Connecticut Post. We received information about an incident at Meadowbrook Country Club this morning. Would you care to comment?" David hung up. The phone rang again immediately. Different number. He declined. "Ash." A text buzzed in from his business partner. "David, I'm seeing something online about Meadowbrook. What happened?" Another text. This one from his company's VP. "Boss, we need to talk. Urgent." An email notification popped up. Subject: Ellis Industries meeting status update. His hand shook so badly he almost dropped the phone. He didn't open the email. He couldn't. Patricia was pacing now, dragging her fingers through her hair. "This is fixable," she insisted. "We explain. We apologize. Rich people forgive rich people. That's how it works. We're not rich like her," David said quietly. "What?" "Her company is worth $2.3 billion, he said. "We're worth $890 million, he laughed. "Came out wrong, thin, hysterical. We're not even in the same league." Brandon appeared beside the table, still grinning, buzzing with leftover excitement. "Dad, did you see? I got her good with the juice." Right in the back, David looked at his son, really looked at him. He saw himself. He saw Patricia. He saw everything they had modeled, every lesson absorbed without question. "Go to the car," David said. "But now." Brandon's smile faded. He walked away slowly, confused. Patricia's phone began buzzing nonstop, notifications stacked on top of each other. Comments, tags, mentions. She opened one. Someone had reposted her story, a screenshot with new text overlaid. Patricia Whitmore and family assault Dr. Jordan Ellis, CEO of Ellis Industries, at Meadowbrook Country Club. Dr. Ellis is worth $2.3 billion and was evaluating the club for a $5 million donation. The Whitmores just destroyed everything. The post already had 800 likes, 100 shares. It had been live for 6 minutes. "David," Patricia whispered. Her voice was small now, almost childlike. "People know. Everyone knows." His phone rang again. This time, he recognized the number. "David," Robert Henderson said without preamble. "Emergency board meeting tomorrow. 1 p.m. you and Patricia. Mandatory." The call ended before David could respond. Another call came through his lawyer. "David," the man said sharply. "I'm seeing things online. Don't say anything. Not to reporters, not to friends, no social media. Call me back immediately." A text from his mother. "What is this I'm hearing about Meadowbrook? Call me." A text from his sister. "David, what the hell did you do?" Emails from 3 different clients lit up his screen. "We need to discuss our contract." Patricia stared at her phone, horror-stricken. Her follower count ticked down in real time. 47,000, 46,900, 46,800. Comments poured in. Racist, disgusting behavior. Unfollowing. This is why people hate the rich. She was crying now, mascara streaking down her cheeks. "Make it stop, David," she sobbed. "Make it stop." But he couldn't. Because at that exact moment across town, Jordan Ellis sat in her home office. The recording played back perfectly. 23 minutes. Every word, every laugh, every insult. She had already sent the file to her attorney, Rachel Martinez, civil rights specialist. 30 years of experience. Rachel called back within 10 minutes. "Jordan," she said, awe threading through her voice, "this is everything. The audio is crystal clear. Multiple witnesses will corroborate. You have assault, battery, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. You can file Monday." "What about criminal charges?" Jordan asked. "Possible. The DA will want to review." "Child assault statutes are tricky, but the parents are liable for supervision." Rachel paused. "How far do you want to take this?" Jordan reached up and touched her hair, still sticky with dried chocolate. Her gaze drifted to the blazer hanging over her chair, the orange juice stain already set, permanent. "All of it," she said. "I want all of it." "Good," Rachel replied. Her smile was audible. "Because I just got off the phone with the NAACP. They want to discuss a class action against Meadowbrook. Apparently 3 other families of color were rejected under Patricia's committee." Jordan pulled up Patricia's deleted Instagram story. Someone had already sent her the screenshot. She stared at it for a long moment. Then she forwarded it to her company's PR team. Subject: prepare a statement. Press conference Monday, 11 a.m. Jordan stood alone in her bedroom. The lights off, the city glowing through the floor-to-ceiling windows like a constellation of consequence. She walked slowly to the glass and looked out over the skyline. Somewhere out there, the Whitmores were unraveling phones vibrating non-stop. Hands shaking, voices cracking. Good. Let them panic. Let them feel even a fraction of what she had felt kneeling on that marble floor. Chocolate in her hair. Strangers laughing while she gathered her dignity piece by piece. Let them understand what consequences actually meant when money couldn't erase them. Her reflection stared back at her from the glass steady, composed, unbroken. She smiled. For the first time since that morning, she smiled. Monday morning, 8:45 a.m., David Whitmore stood in the lobby of Ellis Industries. The space was cavernous. Marble floors stretched 50 feet in every direction. Floor-to-ceiling windows flooded the building with light. The air smelled faintly of leather, polish, and wealth earned not inherited. Quiet power hummed beneath the silence. David wore his best suit, Tom Ford. Navy blue, $3,000. He held a massive bouquet of white roses, 200 of them ordered from a florist who had opened early, just for him. He had rehearsed his apology 17 times. His palms were slick with sweat. The receptionist looked up. Young, professional, impeccably dressed. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "Mr. Whitmore?" "Yes," he said quickly. "I have a 9 o'clock meeting with Ms. Ellis." He set the flowers gently on the counter. "Could you give her these? It's my sincerest apologies." Her expression didn't change. "Mr. Whitmore, there's been a schedule change. Ms. Ellis is unavailable." "Unavailable." His voice cracked. "The contract presentation. The final decision. My team flew in. You should check your email." David pulled out his phone. His hand shook so badly, he nearly dropped it. An email had arrived at exactly 9 a.m. Subject: Ellis Industries HQ. Project bid status update. He opened it. The word swam. He read the first line 3 times before it registered. "Dear Mr. Whitmore, after comprehensive review, Ellis Industries has decided to pursue alternative partnerships for our headquarters campus project. Your firm's bid has been withdrawn from consideration effective immediately. This decision is final. We wish you success in future endeavors." The phone slipped from his fingers and clattered against the marble floor. $1.5 billion. Gone. The receptionist bent down, picked up his phone, and placed it back in his trembling hand. "Anything else, Mr. Whitmore?" He couldn't speak. Behind him, the elevator chimed. His project team stepped out 6 people. Architects, engineers, all dressed for the presentation of their careers, his faces bright with nervous hope. David, his lead architect, said. "Conference room's ready. Go home," David said. Voice sounded hollow, unfamiliar. "What?" "We lost it," he said. "Go home." They stood frozen, briefcases hanging at their sides, mouths slightly open. David walked past them, through the lobby, out the glass doors, and into the parking garage. He slid into his Mercedes and sat there for 20 minutes, staring at the steering wheel like it might explain how everything had collapsed so quickly. His phone rang. "Patricia, did you fix it?" she asked, breathless. "Did you apologize? We lost the contract?" Silence. "What?" "1.5 billion, he said flatly. "Gone." Her breathing sharpened. "But you apologized." "The flowers, it doesn't matter," David said. "She canceled us at exactly 9. She probably decided Saturday night." "David," Patricia whispered, panic flooding her voice. "What do we do?" "I don't know." He hung up. Across town, Jordan Ellis entered a packed conference room. 20 journalists, 5 news stations, NPR microphones clustered at the podium. Photographers lined the walls shoulder to shoulder. She wore charcoal gray. Her hair was styled perfectly. Her makeup was flawless. She looked exactly like what she was. Power. Attorney Rachel Martinez stood to her left. Representatives from the NAACP flanked her right. Jordan stepped to the podium. The room fell silent, except for the rapid clicking of cameras. "Good morning. Thank you for coming." Her voice was steady, each word deliberate. "On Saturday, May 18th, I attended Meadowbrook Country Club as an invited guest. I was evaluating the club for a $5 million STEM donation." Reporters leaned forward, pens scratched paper. "Instead," Jordan continued, "I was physically assaulted by a 12-year-old child." His parents laughed. "I was told I didn't belong. I was accused of theft, was subjected to racial slurs, and publicly humiliated." She paused. "Recorded everything." The room erupted. Voices overlapped. Questions shouted. Jordan raised one hand. Silence. "I will play 30 seconds now." She nodded. The audio filled the room. Patricia's voice clear, unmistakable. What the hell is she doing here? The wet impact of the croissant. Patricia's laughter, sharp, delighted. That's what happens when trash doesn't know its place. David's voice. "You out now before I have you arrested?" Brandon's voice, young, cruel. "I got her good." The recording stopped. Several journalists covered their mouths. One woman wiped tears from her eyes. Jordan continued. "This isn't one incident. This is systemic discrimination assumptions based on appearance and dignity people of color face daily, regardless of achievement." She looked directly into the camera. "I have a PhD from MIT. I built a $2.3 billion company. I employ 12,000 people. None of that protected me from being treated like trash." Her voice never wavered. "Today, I am filing a civil suit against the Whitmore family assault. Battery, defamation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress." Rachel stepped forward. "The NAACP is also investigating Meadowbrook Country Club's membership practices," she said. "We have evidence of systematic discrimination." Jordan lifted her phone. Behind her, a screen lit up with Patricia's deleted Instagram story. "Mrs. Whitmore posted this publicly," Jordan said. "Mocking me." She deleted it, but the internet is forever. A reporter raised her hand. "Miss Ellis, your company just canceled a $1.5 billion contract with Whitmore Properties. Is that retaliation?" Jordan's face was stone. "My board decided independently. I recused myself due to conflict." She paused. "But I will say this. List Industries partners with companies that share our values. Character matters in business." Another reporter called out, "What do you want to happen?" Jordan looked straight into the camera. Accountability, consequences. She stepped back. "Thank you. No further questions." The room exploded with noise. Jordan walked out, flanked by security. 10 minutes later, the press conference trended on Twitter. 30 minutes later, major networks ran the story. Within an hour, it was national news. By noon, the Whitmore's world was on fire. David sat in his car, watching his phone light up endlessly, clients calling, lawyers calling, his mother, business partners, everyone. He didn't answer, stared through the windshield at the Ellis Industries building. The building that should have been his greatest achievement. Now it was his grave. At 2 p.m. Monday, David Whitmore released a statement. His lawyer wrote it. 3 drafts, carefully vetted. "I deeply regret a misunderstanding that occurred at Meadowbrook Country Club. My family and I sincerely apologize to Ms. Ellis. We acted without full information and are committed to learning from this experience. Jordan read it once, then she closed her phone. David posted the statement everywhere. LinkedIn, the company website, an email blast to every client, investor, and partner he had. He refreshed the page. The internet tore it apart in minutes. Misunderstanding? You assaulted her? You're only sorry you got caught. You didn't need full information to treat her with respect. Pathetic. By 3 p.m., his phone was vibrating nonstop. Not calls, emails. 3 major clients terminated contracts within 20 minutes. A regional shopping center, development to $10 million. 2 office park renovations, $12 million. Gone. The emails were identical, professional, cold, merciless. After careful consideration, we've decided to pursue other partnerships. This decision reflects our commitment to values-based business relationships. Values-based. The phrase cut deeper than any insult. His business partner called. David, the board wants you out. What? David whispered. They're voting Wednesday. I built this company, David snapped. My grandfather built it. You're destroying it, the partner said flatly. The line went dead. At 4 p.m., Patricia posted an Instagram video. She sat on the edge of their bed, hair uncombed, makeup streaked down her face. Eyes red, swollen, frantic. I made a terrible mistake, she sobbed. I judged someone without knowing them. I'm so sorry. Her voice trembled dramatically. I'm not a racist. I have black friends. I volunteer at the community center. I donate. The comments hit instantly. You don't have black friends? You're crying because you got caught. Not racist is exactly what racists say. Showed your true colors. Own it. Her follower count dropped in real time. 47,000, 43,000, 38,000, falling like dominoes. Then the sponsorship emails arrived. High-end jewelry brand, luxury skincare line, designer handbag company, all identical. You're terminating our partnership effective immediately. Your recent actions do not align with our brand values. Patricia stared at the screen, hands shaking. Breathing shallow, panicked gasps. 5 years. 5 years of perfectly curated photos, aspirational captions, strategic friendships, brand deals worth 6 figures annually, gone in 4 hours. At 5 p.m., the private school called. The headmaster's voice was grave. Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore, the board has reviewed Saturday's incident. Combined with Brandon's prior behavioral issues, we've decided his enrollment at Berkshire Academy is no longer tenable. You're expelling him? Patricia shrieked. We donated a library wing. We're refunding your donation, the headmaster replied calmly. Brandon represents a liability we cannot accept. He's 12 years old. He assaulted a guest at a country club, the headmaster said. His parents encouraged it. This reveals a pattern we should have addressed earlier. A pause. I'm sorry, the decision is final. Patricia called for other private schools. All had waiting lists. All said they'd call back. None did. Meadowbrook Country Club's board met that evening. Emergency session. All 12 members present. Robert Henderson presided. His face was gray. He hadn't slept. We have audio evidence, he said. Video from multiple members, social media posts. He placed printed screenshots on the table. The croissant. The laughter. The Instagram post. The Whitmores assaulted an invited guest, he continued. A guest I personally invited to discuss a $5 million donation. Board member Sarah Carter spoke first. We need to act decisively. This is a PR catastrophe. It's more than PR, another member said. It's moral bankruptcy. The vote was unanimous. Whitmore family membership permanently revoked. Patricia opened it with trembling hands and read aloud, Dear Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore, the Meadowbrook Country Club Board of Directors has voted to permanently revoke your family membership, effective immediately. This decision follows conduct unbecoming of Meadowbrook values, including assault on an invited guest and racial harassment. Your access cards have been deactivated. Please arrange to collect your personal items from your locker by Friday. The letter slipped from her fingers and fluttered to the floor. "This is our entire social life," she whispered. Her voice was small, broken. David stared at the wall. It's worse than that. His phone buzzed. Another email. From the bank. "Dear Mr. Whitmore, we would like to schedule an immediate meeting to discuss your business loan terms. Recent developments require a review of your credit facility." They were calling his loans. $50 million in active financing, projects under construction, payroll due Friday. If the bank pulled out, everything collapsed. Patricia looked at him. Mascara streaked down her face. "What do we do?" David laughed, bitter, empty. "We beg." "Beg who?" David swallowed. "Jordan Ellis." He picked up his phone and began typing. "Please, Miss Ellis. I have 400 employees depending on this. I'm begging you. 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes to apologize properly." His hands shook so badly he could barely hit send. He sent it, stared at the screen. No response came. None ever would. The story went viral Tuesday morning. CNN ran it at 6 a.m. Tech. CEO assaulted at country club, audio reveals racial harassment. MSNBC followed at 7 o'clock. When privilege meets power, the Jordan Ellis case. Fox News at 8 o'clock. Country club controversy sparks national debate. By noon, Jordan's name was trending worldwide. Hashtag Jordan Ellis. Hashtag Me to Brook Racism. Hashtag Everyday Racism. TikTok exploded. Patricia's laugh became a sound clip. Millions of videos mocking it, reenacting it, condemning it. Audio snippet hit 15 million plays in 24 hours. Memes flooded Instagram, side-by-side photos. Patricia's deleted post next to Jordan's Forbes cover. Caption, "When you assault a billionaire and don't even know it." Brandon's orange juice toss became an animated GIF, shared 200,000 times. Jordan appeared on Good Morning America Wednesday. The host, Michelle Carter, leaned forward, sympathetic but precise. "Dr. Ellis," she said, "walk us through what happened Saturday." Jordan's voice was calm, measured. She had told this story 100 times now. It never got easier. "I went to evaluate the club's culture," she said, "to see if they deserved a $5 million investment." She paused. Within an hour, a child threw food at my head. Silence. His parents laughed. The camera held on her face. Unflinching. Unbroken. "They told me I didn't belong," Jordan said quietly. "They accused me of theft, had me escorted out." Michelle Carter leaned forward. "And you recorded everything?" "I did," Jordan replied. "I've learned to document discrimination. It's the only protection we have." Michelle's voice dropped. "How did it feel in that moment?" Jordan's eyes went distant, not weak, not fragile, just tired. "Like no matter what I achieve," she said, "I'll always be judged by my skin first. My credentials are second. They're considered it all." The clip aired that evening. By midnight, it had 12 million views. Business schools moved fast. Harvard, Stanford, Wharton. The case appeared in Salabi within days. The Ellis Whitmore case study, ethics, power, and corporate accountability. Students debated fiercely. Was pulling the $1.5 billion contract retaliation or responsibility? Should personal conduct affect business partnerships? Does character matter in leadership? Most sided with Jordan, because the facts were overwhelming. Thursday morning, the Connecticut Post detonated the story further. Front page banner headline, "Whitmore Properties." A pattern of discrimination. Reporter James Liu had spent 3 weeks digging. He interviewed 43 people. Former employees, rejected tenants, disillusioned business partners. The stories aligned too perfectly to dismiss. In 2022, a black family, the Johnsons, were denied an apartment. Credit scores over 800. Combined income $200,000. Flawless rental history. Rejected for insufficient references. That same week, a white family with lower credit and unstable income was approved. A former Whitmore employee went on record. David would look at applications and say things like, "Not the right fit for our properties." Everyone knew what that meant. Then the emails surfaced. David Whitmore to his property manager. "The Johnson application, I don't think they're Whitmore material. Find a reason. Sabotage. The Johnsons were black." Another email. "Let's prioritize the Anderson family. They'll fit better with our tenant community." The Andersons were white. Federal housing investigators opened a case that Friday. Possible Fair Housing Act violations. Systematic discrimination. millions in fines, criminal exposure possible. Meadowbrook's investigation expanded next. The NAACP uncovered 3 families of color rejected in the past 2 years. All exceeded the credentials of most current members. Dr. Michael Carter, surgeon, Yale Medical School, annual income $400,000, rejected reason. Membership at capacity. 2 white families approved the same month. Maria Rodriguez, federal judge. Harvard Law. Impeccable reputation, rejected for not enough recommendations. She had 3. The requirement was 2. The Davis family. Both parents attorneys. Children enrolled in elite private schools, rejected due to concerns about cultural fit. Cultural fit. The phrase appeared in 17 rejection letters over 5 years. Every rejected family was non-white. Former committee members began speaking anonymously. Patricia controlled everything, one said. She'd look at photos and make snap judgments. Another added she once said we needed to protect the club's traditional character. We all knew what she meant. If a minority family applied, a third said she'd find reasons. Always reasons that sounded legitimate but weren't. The NAACP filed a class action lawsuit Wednesday. $12 million in damages, federal discrimination charges, mandatory structural reform. Meadowbrook's board panicked. Emergency measures. A diversity consultant hired. Mandatory bias training announced. Minority applications fast-tracked. Too little, too late. 47 members resigned. Not because of discrimination, because of the reforms. 1 resignation letter leaked online. Meadowbrook has lost its way. The club was built on certain standards. Those standards are being destroyed by political correctness. The letter went viral. The author was identified. His law firm dropped him within 48 hours. Jordan's legal team prepared for trial. Rachel Martinez assembled a crushing case. Audio recordings. 5 separate videos. Instagram evidence. Witness testimony. Medical records documenting emotional distress. Expert witnesses lined up. Dr. Sarah Johnson, psychologist. Public racial humiliation produces PTSD, symptoms anxiety, hypervigilance, depression. Dr. Marcus Williams, sociologist. Country clubs have historically excluded people of color. Language has evolved. Discrimination hasn't. Thomas Meadowbrook's longtime manager testified. After 30 years of silence, he spoke. I've watched the Whitmores humiliate people for years. Staff, guests, anyone they deemed beneath them. Saturday was just the first time someone fought back. Margaret, the elderly woman who tried to help, testified too. I'm ashamed I didn't stop it sooner. Patricia Whitmore has been cruel for years. We all looked away. The Whitmores tried to settle, desperately. Their attorney made offers $2 million, then $5 million, then $8 million. Rachel brought each one to Jordan. Jordan refused them all. I want a trial, she said. I want testimony on public record. I want everyone to see what happened. This isn't about money, Rachel said. No, Jordan replied. It's about accountability. Trial date set, October 15th. Federal Courthouse. Judge Maria Santos presiding. 200 media outlets requested credentials. Only 50 approved. Courtroom capacity, 120 seats. Demand, thousands. The trial would be live-streamed, a first in Connecticut federal court history. Meanwhile, the Whitmores were drowning. David's company lost 40% of its value. 6 clients gone, 3 projects canceled. The bank restructured his loans. Higher interest, shorter timelines, personal guarantees required. He laid off 60 employees, then 40 more. His CFO resigned. His VP of operations quit. 400 employees became 280. In shrinking, Patricia's influencer career was dead. 3,000 followers remained. No sponsorships, no brand deals, no income. Her friends stopped calling. Charity boards removed her. Book club uninvited her. She became radioactive. Brandon was transferred to public school. The only option left. He was bullied daily. They knew his name. They knew the story. Kids recognized Brandon immediately. Kids whose parents had watched the videos. Kids who had heard the audio, seen the memes, laughed at the GIFs. They whispered when he walked past. They pointed. They mocked. One afternoon in the cafeteria, someone threw food at him. Orange juice. It soaked his shirt. Pulp slid down his back. The table erupted in laughter. A teacher rushed over too late. Principal called Patricia that afternoon. "We need to discuss Brandon's safety." Patricia listened in silence, jaw tight, fingers clenched around the phone. Then she hung up without responding. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Autumn arrived. Leaves burned gold and red, falling quietly while everything else burned loudly. The trial date approached. The Whitmores had one last card to play. Public apology. Complete. Unequivocal. National television. NBC primetime. Their final attempt at redemption. They sat side by side under studio lights, hands clasped, faces carefully composed. David spoke first, stiff, rehearsed. "We deeply regret our actions. What happened was wrong. We are committed to learning and growing." Patricia cried on cue. "I never intended harm. I take full responsibility. I'm asking for grace." The interviewer didn't interrupt. She let the silence do the work. Social media responded within minutes. Too late. "This isn't remorse. It's damage control." Say her name without choking. We didn't apologize until the consequences arrived. The apology failed. Spectacularly. The trial began. 3 weeks, every word examined, every lie exposed, every excuse dismantled, audio played in open court. Patricia's laugh echoed through the courtroom sharp, cruel, unmistakable. Jurors shifted uncomfortably. Video followed, multiple angles, multiple witnesses. Thomas testified. Margaret testified. Experts testified. Jordan testified last. Calm, measured, unbreakable. She didn't exaggerate. She didn't perform. She told the truth. And the truth was devastating. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. Unanimous. Guilty on all counts. The courtroom went still. The judge read the damages. It's $8.5 million total. $3.5 million compensatory. $5 million punitive. The jury foreman, a retired teacher, spoke to reporters outside. "We wanted to send a message," he said. "Wealth doesn't excuse cruelty. Power doesn't grant permission to discriminate." Criminal charges followed. The prosecutor was methodical. Assault, contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Child endangerment. The Whitmores pleaded no contest. Avoided trial. Minimized headlines. The judge was unmoved. 200 hours of community service each. Mandatory diversity education. Teaching tolerance workshops. 3 years probation. Any violation meant jail. Brandon was ordered into intensive therapy. Weekly sessions. Mandatory for 2 years. Community service at a youth center serving underprivileged kids. The judge looked directly at the parents. "This child learned hatred from his parents," she said. "Perhaps serving those he was taught to despise will teach him humanity." 6 months later, David filed for bankruptcy. Personal, corporate, assets liquidated. The mansion sold at auction. $12 million vanished into creditors and legal fees. They moved into a rental. 2 bedrooms, 1,500 square feet. The kind of place they once wouldn't have noticed. David worked as a consultant now. Small projects, modest income. His reputation arrived before he did. Doors that once opened automatically stayed shut, permanently. Patricia worked retail, department store, cosmetics counter. Minimum wage, commission-based. Her manager was a black woman named Tasha. Patricia called her ma'am. The irony was suffocating. Meadowbrook settled the class action. $12 million to rejected families. Mandatory reforms. 40% of new members required to be people of color for 5 years. A diversity officer hired. Dr. James Morrison. Bias training, zero tolerance policies, anonymous complaint systems. 63 members resigned in protest. They joined other clubs. Clubs with traditional values. Meadowbrook survived, changed, better. 3 months after the verdict, Jordan stood in the Ellis Industries auditorium. 1,200 employees present, thousands more watching live. "That day at Meadowbrook," she said, voice clear and steady, "I had a choice." Silence fell. Stay silent and take the high road, or stand up and demand accountability. She paused. "I chose to stand. It's not just for me. For every person of color who's been judged, dismissed, or humiliated for simply existing in spaces others decide aren't for them." The applause was thunderous. She waited. "People ask if I regret how it escalated." She smiled. Never. Silence enables oppression. Silence protects abusers. Silence tells the next Brandon Whitmore that cruelty has no consequences.
Out.
Today, she continued, I'm announcing the Beyond Appearances initiative. The screen lit up behind her. $20 million in full STEM scholarships, 15 universities, 200 students in our first class. The room erupted. My success is my activism, she said. Every door I open, I hold for others. Every table I sit at, I pull up more chairs. 6 months later, Jordan spoke in Atlanta. Civil Rights Conference, 5,000 attendees, standing ovation before she reached the podium. Character has no dress code, she said. Respect isn't reserved for people you recognize. Dignity isn't determined by designer labels. She scanned the crowd. Faces of every color. Every background. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear, she continued. This story isn't unique. Every day, people of color are judged by appearance, dismissed by assumption, reduced by stereotype. The difference, she said, voice sharpening, is that I had resources to fight back. Most don't. Most swallow the insult. Most walk away silently. Most carry the wound forever. So when you see it happen, speak up. When you witness discrimination, document it. When you have power, use it. The room was silent, because the Whitmores weren't the exception. They were the symptom. And until people choose accountability over comfort, nothing changes. If this story moved you, share it. Let it spark conversations about bias and consequences. Comment below, have you witnessed discrimination, and how did you respond? Subscribe for more stories where justice prevails and the underestimated rise. Turn on notifications, these stories matter. But before you go, ask yourself this. How many Jordan Ellises have you dismissed at first glance? How many times has your assumption stolen someone's dignity? The truth is uncomfortable. We've all been Whitmores at some point. The question isn't whether you've done it, it's whether you'll do it again. Jordan's face filled the screen, calm, powerful, unflinching. She wasn't asking permission anymore. She was demanding change. This time, the world was listening.